So now I'm going to show you how to create a simple animation using Photoshop and After Effects, especially using Puppet tool in After Effects to create a simple animation in short period of time, like in a matter of minutes. And I was going to say matter of seconds, but it's got to be longer than that. So I'm going to show you how to make really simple animation using like not spending so much of time, and especially to be good for creating animation for fun and also for a social media platform. I think it's gonna be really good for that. So let's see. Um, and I'm going to use this setup to create your Photoshop documents. But you can basically use any kind of setup you like, depending on the character. I guess the width and height could be different and so forth. So let's see. So I created a new document here, and let me see. Layer. I'm going to create new layer here, and then I'm going to delete this one, and and I'm going to create simple character using maybe different brush setup. Let me see what kind of brush setup should I use. Should I use this character, this brush? Any kind of brush would do the job, but I just want to use fun setup. Let me see. And I'm using a mouse. So, so keep in mind that, please keep in mind that I'm using mouse to draw. So I usually draw better than this if I have access to a tablet. So this is my character, and I'm going to create this character. Let's see. And this one. And is this skin color? Go for skin color. Then okay, and then okay, and this one maybe blue. And I'm going to merge this layer. Okay, I'm going to save this one and UDEM and 2D animation, and I'm going to make a folder for it, Puppet examples, examples, and then I'm going to tell character Puppet character 1. And Photoshop layers 1. And okay, so I'm going to move to After Effects. I'm going to import that. So UDEM, the animation, the examples, and puppet character. And then I'm going to import it as composition, retain layer sizes, and then just open it. And editable layer styles. So now there is my character. It's kind of hard to see the character itself because the outline is the black. So I'm going to this brings in as one of the composition. So I'm going to go to the double click and open, and I'm going to go to the composition and composition setting, and then I'm going to change this to be a white background so I can see everything clearly. So now there's my character. So you can create, so this is basically this created, imported as a composition of its own. But usually when you, let's say, when you put a character into a scene, you will have to create a new composition that's set to be your set to be your final output. So which is, in this case, I just choose 1080 24 and 24 set frames, and then duration, and I just leave it at say 1 second and 2 frames. Let's see. We can change this anytime we want later on. So now this is the composition settings we have, and we can just select the puppet character, this one, and just drop it in here, and then I can go in here, and if I double click, of course I will be able to see the Photoshop layer of itself. But what we're gonna do and how we're gonna use puppet tool is right in here, this puppet character, just a second here. So where we're gonna do a puppet using puppet tool is this puppet character inside that composition, and we're gonna, this is the puppet tool and puppet position pin tool. We're gonna click that, and we're gonna click here to make the so basically we click these pin tools where we want to use the where we want to move the part of the character around. So this one and this one, and if you've done 3D and I click this mesh to show this mesh inside, and you can see how the mesh changes as I set up the pin tools here. So if you've done some 3D rigging stuff, and you will understand very fast. It's much simpler than that, I can't even compare. But basically, it kind of shares the same kind of methodology or logic, I have to say. So if I click this move tool and move this one of the pin that I set up, then you can see I can move this the character's hand around. It seems a little slower because my laptop is on. Oh, let me close this one. My laptop is slow and not so fast, and I'm using two software here. So keep in mind that, please. And then maybe I can reduce the this resolution size to be half, because I don't need a full resolution for this experiment. Nothing is animated yet because I didn't make the keyframes. And also, as soon as I click the puppets, Photoshop puts this puppet inside the effects, under these effects menus. And you can see here, mesh 1. And underneath deform, there's a pins that I created. So if I open up one of the pins to see, you see it automatically creates the keyframe on frame 1. Frame 0 rather. And so in this case, what I like to do is because in 3D, usually if we have T-pose, we want to save that T-pose. I haven't quite found that the better way to do so yet. So let me show you. In this case, what I'd like to do is basically this is T-pose. This is the base pose. So what I like to do is composition settings, and I like to add, let's say, minus frame. You can do different ways, and you don't really have to do this, but in my case, I like to do that way. So now it's minus frame and frame from 0. So it moved the keyframes to -1 frame. So which means you can just this is also this decides work area. So if I decide to move the work area from, let's say, from frame 5, I can just move this left mouse click and press it down and then move this around to define the work area. And then you can basically render that work area out later on. Only this part you will render out. So in this case, what I'd like to say is, so you can move this one work area around. So I just set the, I just gave the, I just asked my, not my After Effects to create -1 frame. So, but I'm going to just work from the frame 1, frame 0. So, and then I'm going to store, so keyframes move to -1 frame. So what I mean by that is, even if I pose this character like this here, let's say this is a pose of my character in frame 0. But if I want to go back to that pose again, I mean, I'm guessing probably I don't have to, but let's say if you want to, then I can just go to -1 frame, and then I can copy that keyframe and paste it anywhere I want. So that's how I like to work. And if I go here, then I can make this character move. But I'm guessing that will be very fast because and then I can keep moving. Okay. And this is very bad animation, but you can make it lift the foot and then go back, then lift the other foot. So, what? Oh, my bad. Shouldn't it be? So, it's very bad, but it gives you an idea of how you can do this. And one other thing is that see this like, let's say these kind of things could happen. Like I want to move this hand in front, move the hand, show the hand in front of the body, but it's actually right now it's behind the body. In this case, what you can do is go to the first frame, very first frame, and then you can switch it to Puppet Overlap Pin tool and click and make one tool right on top of that the part of the hand, and then what I like to do, and then it create After Effects creates this overlap option here, and I will animate this. I will click the so this one doesn't automatically create keyframe, so I will have to create keyframe, and then go to that part up to here and make another keyframe, and then go here. Well, it actually automatically does right now. So that's something that could happen. Or if not, then you will have to increase. Oh, it wasn't actually correct. It wasn't done it correctly. I thought it was just a deformation happened in a very bad way. So that's what you can do. So by increasing this extent, you can correctly create this hand animated in front of the body. So I'm sure you are a much better animator than I, so you can create much better stuff. So after this, I just showed you how to create simple animation using one layer Photoshop file character created in just one layer in Photoshop. And the next, I'm going to show you how to animate, how to plan and animate character sort of planned out in multiple layers, like let's say 2 layers in Photoshop.